A 1904 wedding portrait came back to light, and historians felt shocked as they zoomed in on the bride's picture. The old photo arrived at the New Orleans Historical Collection inside a box damaged by water. It was part of items donated from a big house in the Garden District after the old owner passed away. Archivist Claire Duchamp had handled many such donations before. Attics and basements often gave old treasures mixed with everyday things. Most needed careful listing but showed little important history. This box held usual pieces from a rich family's past: sealed gloves, old letters tied with ribbon, a worn silver compact. At the bottom, wrapped in thin paper, was one big photograph in a fancy brass frame. Claire took it out carefully and looked closely. It was a formal wedding picture, the kind rich New Orleans families got in studios around 1900. The photographer's mark said Devou and Son Portrait Studio on Royal Street, 1904. The groom stood straight in a dark suit, one hand on a decorated chair, face serious. Next to him sat the bride in a beautiful white Edwardian dress with layers of silk, fine lace, and a high collar with pearls. But Claire noticed the bride's veil right away. It was very thick, heavy lace that made deep shadows over her face. In most bridal photos from that time, veils were pulled back to show the face clearly. Here the veil hung forward, hiding her features and giving a strange, ghostly look. Claire took the photo to her desk and put a magnifying lamp over it. The picture was sharp for its age. She could see each pearl on the dress, the groom's mustache texture, the wood grain on the chair. But the bride's feelings stayed hidden. She could see the shape of her face and jaw, but not the emotion through the veil. Something in the pose felt strange. Her body looked stiff, hands held tight in her lap, showing worry instead of happiness. Claire decided to get it scanned and improved with digital tools. New technology often showed hidden details in very old photos. She put the portrait in a safe sleeve, but a bad feeling stayed with her. Every wedding photo she knew showed joy. This one showed something different. 2 days later, Claire worked with Marcus Reed in the collection's imaging lab. Marcus had restored old photos for 12 years. He treated each as a puzzle to solve hidden things from time and damage. "This one is in good shape," Marcus said as the high-quality scan showed on screen. "The Devou studio used fine materials, but that veil will be hard. It throws heavy shadow on her face." Claire asked if he could get past it. She wanted to see the bride's expression, her eyes. "Something feels wrong about this picture." Marcus changed settings, sharpened it, added contrast. He zoomed to the bride's face. The thick lace made complex light and dark patterns, but software could fix it. He tried to bring out shadow details without losing bright parts. The image cleared slowly, showing her nose shape, lips, cheeks under the veil. Then Claire saw it. "Marcus, hold there." Lines ran down her cheeks. Not veil shadows, but real wetness. Tears caught when the photo was taken. "That's not common," Marcus said softly. "Brides sometimes cried, but photographers usually waited for calm. These sessions cost a lot, and clients wanted perfect pictures." "Can you make it clearer?" Claire asked, voice tight. "I want to see all of it." Marcus added more filters, sharpened focus, fixed tones, brought out every detail under the veil. The bride's face filled the screen, tears, wide eyes, tight jaw, all showing pain. Then Marcus saw more. Around her left eye, in the deepest veil shadow, he increased light. A dark mark appeared, a big bruise spreading from the eye to her temple. The veil was not for style. It hid signs of harm on purpose. Claire and Marcus sat quiet, looking at the screen. The crying bride, the hiding veil, the covered bruise. This was not a normal wedding photo. It showed something much worse. "We have to find out who they are," Claire said. "I need to know who she was and what happened to her." The Devou and Son studio was one of the best in New Orleans in the early 1900s. It served rich Creole and American families in the French Quarter and Garden District. The business ended in 1932, but records went to the Louisiana Photography Archive near Tulane University. Claire called the director, Dr. Simone Bertrand. Simone knew the importance right away. "Their books are very complete for that time," she said. When Claire went there the next day, they checked. The studio kept good notes, every client, session, payment, even special requests or problems. They found the 1904 ledger and looked for spring and summer. Wedding portraits had a small mark in the side. On June 18, 1904, they saw it. Wedding portrait, Miss Emily Devou and Mr. Robert Thornton. 4 plates taken. Special sitting setup. $15 paid early by the Devou family. The price was high, more than twice normal, and the special note was rare. Claire had seen many entries, few like this. Emily Devou, Claire said. The Devou family was well known in New Orleans society. I have seen the name before. They had sugar plantations upriver and city property. Simone pulled more files. The studio had a separate journal with personal notes from owner Jean-Baptiste Laveau about special or hard sessions. She found June 1904. On June 19th, the day after, Laveau wrote a lot. Yesterday's wedding portrait still bothers me. The Devou family came at 10:00. As planned, Miss Emily came with her mother, Madame Celeste Devou, the groom Mr. Robert Thornton, her father Mr. Henry Devou, and Mr. Thornton's friend whose name I missed but who made everyone uneasy. The bride looked sick, pale, eyes red from crying. When I asked if we should wait for her to calm, Madame Devou said no, do it now. The bride said nothing, just looked down. The veil was troubling. Madame Devou brought it very heavy, much thicker than normal. She said it must stay forward, covering most of the face. When I said it would hide the bride's features, the point of a wedding photo, she got upset and said the veil was needed. I posed them as asked, groom standing, bride sitting, veil arranged for max shadow. Through the lens, I saw her shake, not from happy nerves but real fear. Mr. Thornton kept his hand on her shoulder, tight and owning. When I asked her to turn her head a bit, his grip got stronger, and she jumped. He smiled coldly and said his bride was just overcome by the big day. I took 4 plates, though one was enough. I wanted them gone. The room felt bad, wrong. As they left, the bride looked at me through the veil for the first time. Her eyes begged for help, silent and desperate. But what could I do? The marriage was legal. The family agreed. A photographer does not step into rich clients' private matters. Still, I feel I took part in something awful. When Madame Devou came back 3 days later for the photos, she checked them, nodded, paid, and said her daughter and new son-in-law left for a long trip abroad. She did not say where. I hope I am wrong. I hope the young woman finds joy in marriage, but I fear not. Claire and Simone sat quiet after reading. Laveau's words filled the room with heavy feeling. He saw fear, control, pain behind the fancy wedding. He caught it with his camera but could not act. We need to learn what happened to Emily Devou after this photo, Claire said. Marriage records, society news, anything on where she went or if she lived. Simone noted it down. The Devou family was in high society. Newspapers like the Times-Picayune covered events. If there were wedding stories or later news, they would show. But Claire thought of Laveau's last words. The couple went abroad, place unknown. In 1904, abroad could be Europe, South America, anywhere. Finding someone gone with no clear spot was hard unless death, scandal, or legal issue brought them back. Claire knew to look not just for happy news but any sign of Emily Devou Thornton, later in 1904, a married woman, was like her husband's property. If Robert Thornton wanted her gone, far from family, the law helped him. That thick veil hiding tears and bruises showed he planned it. Claire searched the digitized Times-Picayune archives. She started with June 1904 for the wedding notice before the photo. She found it June 12, marriage of note to society. Miss Emily Celeste Devou, daughter of Mr. Henry and Madame Celeste Devou of Otterbourne Place, to Mr. Robert Harrison Thornton of Boston. C. Remini at Devou home June 17th. Private reception for family and close friends. Mr. Thornton works in shipping and has new ties in New Orleans. The couple will live abroad after. The notice was short, almost cold, odd for such a family. Most big weddings got long stories on dress, flowers, guests. This seemed like a duty, not joy. Claire saw details. Thornton from Boston, shipping business, new in New Orleans. Wedding at home, not church, maybe for privacy or hurry. They would live abroad, no place or time said. No follow-up stories on the wedding, no dress details, no photos. For a top family, the quiet was strange. Claire looked for Robert Thornton in Boston papers. He had shipping deals, once looked at for insurance fraud but no charges. He showed in society pages with rich widows or single women. He seemed to hunt fortunes, building ties with families having daughters to marry. He had one past engagement in Philadelphia that ended sudden, no clear reason in papers. Claire felt sick. The Devou family gave their daughter to a man with bad past, suspected fraud, strange broken engagement. Why? She checked Devou money in 1903 to 1904. Business records, debts, property showed plantations losing money from bad crops and cheap imports. In March 1904, Henry Devou took a big loan to pay debts and keep lifestyle. The loan came from a Boston firm where Thornton was partner. Thornton basically bought Emily. He gave money the family needed, got a pretty wife from old family for status and ties. Emily, pushed by family and society, had no real choice. Claire kept searching for Robert and Emily after wedding. They went abroad, but did they come back? A July 1904 ship list from New York to Liverpool showed Mr. and Mrs. Robert Thornton, first class for long Europe trip. Claire checked British and French papers, hard because old records were spotty. 3 months later, October 1904, Paris Society note, American couple the Thorntons at a bank family event. Then nothing. No more Europe mentions, no US return records, no travel between countries. They vanished on the continent. Claire looked back at Devou family. If Emily wrote home or news came, it would show. What she found was worse. In February 1905, 8 months after wedding, Madame Celeste Devou went to a private place for nervous illness. Records said she was broken about her daughter, full of guilt and worry. Doctor notes, she begged not to make her marry him. She said he scared her, cruel eyes. But we needed money. Henry said no choice. Now she's gone. I don't know if alive or dead. No letters come. He won't let her write. What have we done to our child? Henry visited once March 1905. Notes said he defended, said daughter well and happy abroad. Letters may be lost. When wife got upset asking proof, he left fast, never came back. Madame Devou stayed 2 years, left 1907 but health bad. She died November 1908, heart failure, note said long sadness from family loss. A mother who sold her daughter for money, lived last years in guilt and fear. Claire felt deep sadness. The Devou made a bad choice, Madame saw it too late. But what of Emily, alive in Europe, trapped, tried to run, or worse? To find Emily, track Thornton. A lead came from a London genealogy expert on Americans in Europe 1900s. Claire posted questions online. Elizabeth Parker replied, I saw Thornton in American deaths in France, 1904 to 1910. Death record. D. Nice, January 1906. Emily Thornton, 22, American, accidental fall from villa balcony. Filed by husband Robert Harrison Thornton. Claire's hands shook. Emily died almost 120 years ago, 18 months after bad wedding photo. Accidental fall, but how many such falls hit abused young wives? Elizabeth sent scans of French death paper and burial. Official, signed by nice officials. Emily buried in Protestant cemetery plot, bought by husband. More, Thornton stayed France 1 year. Back to Boston 1907. Remarried 1909, another rich young woman from New York. That wife died 1911, accidental fall from staircase in Manhattan home. 2 wives dead from falls, short after marriage. Pattern clear. Thornton not just fortune seeker. He killed, married rich women, took money after death. Claire told New Orleans Police Historical Unit. Too old for charges, Thornton long dead, but worth recording. Maybe more victims, families never knew truth. Detective James Russo, cold case expert, interested. We see such patterns in history. Men preyed on women when wives had little law protection, odd deaths easy to hide. Send all you have. Claire sent photo, Lavo journal, Devou records, death papers. She kept digging on Emily before Thornton. Who was she? Times-Picayune had bits. Emily at society events, good at piano, spoke French and English. 1902 note, helped charity for Children's Hospital, kind and giving. Young woman with skills, heart, full life ahead, sold by desperate parents to a killer, dead before 23. Russo found more weeks later. Thornton married 4 times 1904 to 1916. All 4 wives died suspicious, falls, drownings, accidents okay alone but pattern together. Methods same, find rich family in money to rubble, offer help or deal. marry daughter, quick and quiet, cut her from family. In 18 months to 2 years, she dies accident, he gets her money or family property. Between wives, he hid abroad on stolen money, then back to start again. Targeted New Orleans, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, never same place twice, no clear trail. He was a serial killer, Russo said. But victims, his wives' deaths, seemed accidents, no real probe. Husband's word on wife's death, not questioned then, especially if rich and connected. Russo tracked papers for all wives. Only fourth, Helen Bradford, Baltimore, 1916, got some look. Her lawyer father asked inquest. Coroner said accident despite her fears told to friends. What of Thornton? Russo showed death record. November 1918, flu pandemic. Survived murders, died disease. 52, Boston hospital, unmarked grave. No kids, family, friends for burial. Claire felt relief he hurt no more, anger no justice, deep sorrow for 4 women. Emily Devou, first victim, destroyed by his plan. I want to do something for them, Claire said. For Emily and others, they deserve memory as people, not just victims. Russo agreed. What? Claire thought of wedding portrait, Lavo's pain, Madame's guilt. Emily left proof in photo, tears, bruise, begging eyes. Veil to hide failed. Tech showed truth Lavo felt but could not stop. Now century later, Emily and 3 others remembered. Claire researched victims' lives, contacted family, archives, got photos, letters. Emily Devou loved piano, wanted to teach music. Letters to friend, loved Chopin, hoped Paris study. Dream lost to family money woes. Second, Grace Worthington, New York, painter. Watercolors in gallery. Family lost money bank. Fail. She sold art secret to help. Thornton saw chance, acted savior. Grace died 6 months marriage 1909, drowning lake honeymoon. Paintings sold by Thornton after. Third, Catherine Price, Philadelphia, writer essays, poetry under own name. Engaged journalist, family broke it when business failed. Thornton bought debts, married 1911. She died later 1911, Fall Hotel balcony, San Francisco. Manuscripts gone, likely destroyed. Fourth, Helen Bradford, Baltimore, taught immigrant kids. Father lawyer took Thornton loan, courted hard, she feared him, confided friends. Family pushed, she died 1916. Father tried, prove murder, failed. Talented, kind women, futures gone by man who saw only money. Claire felt their lost lives. She worked with collection for exhibit, hidden in plain sight, wedding portrait and hidden story. Centered Emily's photo, Lavo journal. Enhanced images, tears, bruise under veil. Told full, victims' lives, dreams, Thornton crimes, society failures, let him kill 12 years. Added domestic violence info, linked past to now, women in abuse still hard to believe, protect. Exhibit opened October some year, big response. Descendants, 4 victims came, first time met, shared hidden family tales, bruise under veil, once hidden, now proof not one man's evil but society allowed it. Strongest moment, old woman stood by Emily's portrait, tears held old photo. Claire asked if help. Woman turned. I'm Marie Lauren. Emily, my great-great-aunt. Family never spoke story. Said married, died young abroad. No details, like erased. Held photo young Emily, 14 maybe, smiling hopeful. This Emily before wrong, before money trouble, Thornton. This real her. Claire eyes wet. Can add this photo? People see her as was, not just bad wedding one. Marie, yes, that's why brought. When red exhibit had come. Emily more than victim. Talented, kind, full life, tried fight. Grandmother said Emily begged not marry. Knew Thornton bad, father no listen. Marie shared all personality, dreams, fears. Claire recorded, added to exhibit. Young, smiling Emily photo beside wedding one, hope to fear. After, more descendants. Grace, great-granddaughter, brought watercolors, attic. Catherine, descendant, found trunk poems, essays, sharp mind, heart. Helen, great-nephew, gave letters, fears. Thornton, pain, pressure. Each added, fuller picture, women artists, writers, teachers, musicians, gifts, world, sacrifice, family, keep status or escape ruin. Exhibit, national news, journals, media. Scholars looked gender, class, violence, early 1900s. Abuse groups used teach patterns, control, hidden respectability. For Claire, best, gave voice, silenced women. Changed wedding portrait from family abuse proof to young woman's try-leave sign suffering. Veil hide failed. Tech broke shadows, showed truth Lavo sensed no act. Century later, Emily Devou 3 shared fate remembered not nameless victims, family secrets, but people lives mattered, talents real, courage lasted time. Reasons to watch include discovering the shocking hidden story behind a beautiful old wedding photo that seemed normal, but revealed abuse and crime through modern restoration. Learning about real historical cases of women trapped in bad marriages for money in early 1900s society. Seeing how technology uncovers long-hidden details like tears and bruises in century-old images, and following an emotional true tale of loss, guilt, justice delayed, and women finally honored for their lives and bravery that touches on timeless issues of control and violence. 1904 wedding portrait, hidden bruise bride. 1904 photo restoration, dark secret wedding photo. Emily Devou story, Robert Thornton killer. New Orleans historical photo, veiled bride tears, abuse in Edwardian marriage, fortune hunter murders, suspicious wife deaths, historical domestic violence, photographer journal entry, Devou family tragedy, Thornton wives pattern, accidental fall deaths, hidden truth photo, bride distress portrait, archival discovery story, women victims history, serial husband crimes, early 1900s scandal, restored image reveal, ghostly veil photo, cold case wedding, tragic bride fate, society marriage pressure, forgotten women's stories, historical abuse evidence, exhibit honors victims,